The Xiaomi 12 Pro is one of the first high-end smartphones of the year. It boasts a triple array of 50 megapixel cameras, the brand new Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 SoC, and an adaptive 120Hz display. Nevertheless, our import version doesn't quite reach the summit of the smartphone Olympus in our tests. The Xiaomi 12 Pro is available in 4 color variants. The green model, which features vegan leather on its back, comes in at 204 grams. The black, blue, and pink models have glass backs and weigh just a single gram more. The camera plateau protrudes 1.45 millimeters from the back of the phone, and the main lens sticks out an additional 1.05 millimeters. This causes the phone to wobble when it's placed on a table. The included silicone case makes this teetering more pronounced. We like the build quality of the Xiaomi 12 Pro, with some caveats. The gaps are even and tight. However, we expected better torsion resistance. The phone creaks and crackles when twisted. The lack of an IP certification is another downside. In terms of GNSS support, the Xiaomi 12 Pro is exemplary and masters GPS, GLONASS, Beidou, QZSS, NavIC, and SBAS with all available frequencies. A satellite fix is almost instantaneous when stepping outdoors, and positioning is very accurate right out of the gates. Indoors, positioning takes a moment longer, but remains accurate once a connection is established. On a short bike ride, we took the Xiaomi smartphone face-to-face with the Garmin Venue 2 smartwatch. The two devices only deviated 90 meters over the total distance of 5 kilometers. On paper, the Xiaomi 12 Pro has one of the most powerful modems available, the Snapdragon X65 5G. However, the spec sheet points out rather limited support for frequency bands, and only 5G sub-6 is available. LTE band 20, which is important in Europe, is absent. The Xiaomi 12 Pro supports all common Wi-Fi standards, including the latest Wi-Fi 6E. The 3 cameras on the back each use a 50 megapixel sensor. The main camera uses Sony's IMX707, but the other 2 lenses use a Samsung S5K-JN1 sensor, which is smaller than Sony's. On paper, photos should be great, but Xiaomi overprocesses pics taken with the main shooter with too much sharpening and contrast. This results in photos with reduced dynamics that end up being too dark. In contrast, the ultra-wide-angle camera delivers great shots. The fisheye effect common to wide-angle shots is cleanly corrected, and there aren't any obvious chromatic aberrations. The high resolution creates an appealing depth of field. A 2x zoom lens completes the camera trio. Unfortunately, this lens lacks optical image stabilization. In daylight, images look acceptable, but pictures quickly blur at higher magnifications. The Xiaomi 12 Pro can record video at up to 8K, albeit at only 24 frames per second. There's a hard 6-minute time limit at this resolution as well. This mode supports HDR10, but only the main sensor can record in 8K. If Ultra HD is enough, users can opt for any of the 3 lenses and record at either 30 or 60 FPS. 4K recordings also support HDR10+. The Xiaomi 12 Pro has a 6.73-inch WQHD+ AMOLED display with a high pixel density of 521 ppi. The LTPO 2.0 panel supports adaptive refresh rates between 10 and 120 Hz. Alternatively, users can manually set the refresh rate to a static 60, 90, or 120 Hz. The Xiaomi 12 Pro's panel only hits maximum brightness when the ambient light sensor is enabled. This works quite quickly in our testing and rapidly adjusts to new lighting environments. Like most OLEDs, the Xiaomi 12 Pro's display flickers due to PWM. We measured a frequency of 181.2 Hz at the minimum brightness. The flicker gets faster as the screen gets brighter, up to 367.6 Hz. An anti-flicker mode is only available through developer options. The display supports all common HDR standards. It gets bright enough to make outdoor use a breeze, and the screen is not overly reflective. The Xiaomi 12 Pro is the first smartphone we've tested with Qualcomm's top-of-the-line SoC for 2022, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. The phone is available with either 8 or 12 GB of LPDDR5 RAM. We tested the 12 GB model. The Adreno 730 handles graphics, but the Xiaomi 12 Pro cannot use the GPU to its full capabilities. In test suites like GFX Bench's Aztec Ruins, the Qualcomm reference design is 44% faster than Xiaomi's smartphone. In overall system benchmarks, the Xiaomi 12 Pro presents itself well, but falls short of expectations. The UFS 3.1 storage is fast and scores well in all areas, save for sequential reads, but this is not noticeable in everyday use. The Xiaomi 12 Pro's battery offers good overall runtimes. In our real-world Wi-Fi test, with the brightness adjusted to 150 candelas per meter squared, the phone lasted almost 13 hours. The 4,600 mAh battery can be recharged from 0 to 100% in just 24 minutes via the included 120 watt power adapter. The phone hit 75% after a mere 15 minutes of charging. The phone supports wireless charging up to 50 watts and can reverse wireless charge other devices at up to 10 watts. The Xiaomi 12 Pro is a great smartphone that scores with an excellent display, a fast and modern SoC, long battery life, and a decent camera setup. However, there are some downsides. Primarily, the phone has some issues with cooling and tends to overheat in demanding situations. This has a negative impact on gaming as well, causing lower than expected frame rates. The summer will ultimately show whether the cameras, display, and chipset can hold up in high ambient temperatures. The Xiaomi 12 Pro scored 87% in our smartphone test. For more information, be sure to check out our detailed review of the Xiaomi 12 Pro over on notebookcheck.net. If this review was informative, please leave it a like. Also, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future video reviews. Thanks for watching.